Hello everyone, I'm Xonani. Welcome to my new video. The lovely people from Lightwish kindly sent me some really beautiful things. This gorgeous box here, we will get to that in a moment, and also this very elegant looking sketchbook with a leather cover and a magnetic closure. Just look at how high quality that looks. Even the inside covers. And I absolutely love that they sent me a green one. The paper is made of 100% cotton fibers and it feels really thick and sturdy. It's 300 GSM, acid-free and ring-bound. You can even open the rings, take pages out or add new ones, which is super practical. I could even imagine adding a planner section to it. Then you had both a planner and nice painting paper with you. We will test the paper in a bit, but first I'm so curious to see what's inside the box. Inside this cardboard package is a kind of a leather case. It looks so nice, don't you think? And it has this magnetic closure. Here we have extra swatching pages included, both on hot press paper with all the information, color names, pigments, transparency and light fastness ratings. I love that everything is laid out so clearly. And now look at this. It's a small watercolor palette made of walnut wood. It also closes with magnets and holds together very securely. In the middle we have 24 full pans of watercolor paint, a space for brushes, and on the sides 2 mixing areas. To protect the paints there's a sheet of plexiglass covering, which could be also used for mixing and stuff. I think this is a cool thing. Now I just need to figure out the mechanism here. Apparently it's designed so you can set it up like a mini easel or painting station. Everything clicks into place with magnets again. It's a little stiff the first couple of times, I guess, especially the small part you need to bend, but I think once it's bended a few times more, it will be smoother, I guess. It did take me a little while to figure out exactly how it's supposed to work, but once everything is set up, you can actually lean your paper or your block or your pad against it and paint. Personally, I prefer working flat on the table, especially with watercolors, but I know many artists would love this kind of setup. By the way, you can also take out the beautiful wooden palette and use it on its own without the leather case. I think it's just gorgeous. Honestly, I think this would make such a beautiful gift for someone in your life who loves painting, maybe even for Christmas. I know that's still a while, but it's also good to keep nice gift ideas in mind. I've actually tried Lightwish watercolors on my channel before, and I really like them. I will link that review video for you, of course. The nice thing about this palette is that you can fill it however you like. If 24 full pans fit in here, then 48 half pans would fit too. So you could build yourself a really amazing custom palette. And all in this beautiful walnut box. By the way, I'm not being paid by Lightwish. They sent me these products, but you're getting my 100% honest opinion. So I'm swatching now on this card, which was included. I'm starting with a little heart in waterproof black liner so we can test how opaque the white is. First I add a drop of water to wake up all the colors. The white is very creamy and nicely opaque. Actually, the colors re-wet so easy that I probably didn't even need the extra water in the beginning. They're very vibrant and highly pigmented and very strong. I usually had too much color on my brush rather than too little. The 24 colors in this cute palette are Zinc White PW4, Hansa Lemon PY3, Yellow Medium PY154, Yellow Deep PY65, Gold Ochre PBR7, Orange PO34, Red Light PR112, Carmine Red PV19, Meadow Lake Red PR176, Violet Light PV3 and PR122, Violet Deep PV3 and PB29. Oh, there's ultramarine in it. Blue PB15:3, ultramarine light PB29, indigo PB66, bluish green PG7 and PB15, emerald green PG7 and PB15 again, sap green PG7 and PY3, green deep PG7 and PBK7, raw sienna PBR7, burnt sienna PBR7, English red also PBR7, burnt umber also PBR7, sepia PBK7 and PBR7, and lamp black PBK7. They are beautiful bright. The ultramarine granulates, of course, and other shades like emerald green and English red also have some lovely texture. Honestly, I'm really happy with the quality once again. The color selection is also very well balanced. No duplicates, no unnecessary overlaps. Yeah. From my other Lightwish set of 24 colors, I had a Lightfast test taped to my window for a full year. Let me show you the results. I think this will be interesting in this video. They honestly blew me away. So what we can see here is the Lightfast test I had in my window for 1 year, October 24. I'm totally surprised. The only color which is really faded is this one, this purple. I haven't written the names on it, but this is the Lightwish set of 24 colors I already reviewed on my channel. And look at this pink. I'm so surprised about this pink. I haven't expected this. Look at this. It haven't faded away. Not a tiny bit. I'm really surprised, I have to say. And if you look at the other colors, they look quite similar. I think this is the ultramarine, or the other blues are strong in color on both sides. Look at this one. I think this was the indigo. And also the reds. Look at the reds. Here, the color changed a tiny bit. A tiny bit. It's a bit more dull on this side. A bit less vibrant in this red. But it was a 1 year test. Okay, here. I can see this yellow here. I don't know exactly which yellow it was. Cadmium yellow medium. This is cadmium yellow medium, and this faded away a lot. And this is permanent violet. And here on the other side we have all the browns, and they haven't changed. They haven't changed a tiny bit. Not a tiny bit, but here this green, I think this is kind of a grass green. It's yellow green. This one faded a lot. And the other ones look great. Payne's gray. This last one, which is the Prussian blue, faded a tiny bit. But to be honest, if I have to compare these paints with other brands, with other artist quality paints, they are really good from the last Lightfastness. And it's very hard to find a pink which is Lightfast. So these were 1 year in my window, and I'm so impressed about the result. Okay, you have to know these 1, 2, 3 colors will fade: cadmium yellow, permanent violet, and yellow green. But all in all, these are great watercolors and I enjoyed them a lot. I remember my review when I painted a sketchbook spread with them, and I really liked them. Okay, now let's try some color mixes and also test out this paper. Mixing ultramarine with gold ochre. Oh, that granulates so nicely. Ultramarine with carmine red. Beautiful. Ultramarine with yellow medium. Makes a lovely green. And the granulation is gorgeous. Carmine with Hansa yellow. Oh, I love that. This blue is PB15:3 with red light PR112. I love this mix. Adding some raw sienna into the green is so nice. Indigo with yellow medium. Wow, that's really beautiful. And again, ultramarine with Hansa yellow. Just perfect. This paper is wonderful. Honestly, I almost feel bad using it for just color mixing. I grab a fresh sheet and do an actual painting now. The pages don't buckle at all. They are very thick and sturdy. Now I'm sketching a little creature with mushrooms growing on it together with a small friend, and then I start painting the first layer. The thing is, the colors are so highly pigmented that it's easy to overload your brush. So my first layer turned out a bit darker than I intended. That's something to watch out for with these paints. Dilute them first on the palette and slowly build up to the tone you want. I just jumped right in as usual without thinking too much or thinking at all, and ended up with darker values than I planned. I haven't planned anything, but you know what I mean. But that's okay. It was still a great test and the paper is excellent. I also feel like the Lightwish paints are a bit more staining overall. Or maybe that's just the way they behaved on this paper. I don't know exactly. I tried lifting some mixes once dry and it worked, but you still need to be careful. I recommend testing them first on scrap paper to get to know how they behave before you dive into a finished piece. Every brand acts differently on the paper. Next, I deepen the background to push my character forward. This is always one of my favorite and most meditative steps. Defining the foreground by making the background darker just makes everything come alive. This paper holds an incredible amount of water and has its own very distinct character, I have to say. Last year I worked a lot in my Etcher sketchbook, which feels very different. Strathmore and Arches also behave differently. So just like with paints, it's worth exploring how your paper reacts. Wet on wet, wet on dry, how fast it absorbs, how long you can work into damp washes. My impression here was that it dried a bit faster at first, so I had to move quickly. Later on, once the paper was more evenly soaked, it stayed workable longer. I plan to test glazing techniques with the Lightwish paint soon. I think they will be really nice for that. So, what can I say? I just think this wooden palette is gorgeous. The paints are really good. The leather cover setup, I personally don't really need it, but it's a nice detail. Overall, I'm really happy with these products and will definitely keep using them. Especially this wonderful wooden palette. And now that I know how lightfast the Lightwish paints are, that makes it even better. As always, I finished my painting with colored pencils, which work really well on this hot press paper. I did notice that the paper stays slightly damp for a long time, a bit more moisty. Is this a word? Moisty? Since it's so thick, you need some patience before using pencils. I'm usually a very impatient person, so at first the pencils didn't work as well as they should, but once the paper was more dry, they layered beautifully. This little spirit with its bee friend turned out so cute, don't you think? I also wanted to do a second painting on a paper I know really well. The Ohuhu Mixed Media Sketchbook. I've painted with watercolor in it many times. Okay, the paper is a bit thinner and it does buckle with water a bit, but I really like this paper. It's cellulose, not cotton, so it behaves differently, of course, but it's very smooth with little texture, which I enjoy. After sketching out my idea, I jumped right in again. This time I use a little more water because the colors are so strong and so vibrant. That worked much better than before. After the first layer dried and a little coffee break, I deepened the background again, adding depth with different gradations. Once again, I noticed the paints being more staining, but I like that. I really enjoyed painting this second piece. Even more so now that I knew the paints better. The greens with pinks and purples just look so beautiful together. I'm very happy with my color choice here. I finished with colored pencils again, and for highlights I used a white Uniball pen from Signo with white pigment ink inside. I actually prefer it over the Sakura gel pens, but that's just my 2 cents. One of you recommended it to me and I'm super happy with it. Thank you so much. So the second painting is done too. I really like it in the end. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. I truly like these products and can see them making wonderful gifts. Please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and click the bell so you won't miss any of my videos. A huge thank you to my amazing Patreons. You are simply the best. Thank you so much for your support. Have a wonderful time, my friends, and see you again next week with a new video. Yours, Tsunami.